Hello everybody, Daily Kerbal again. Conditions are ripe for us to return our probe from Eve to Kerbin. I've been doing some science contracts, transmitting science from various stations that we have in orbit of various astral bodies. I got some from Duna, I got some from Kerbin, got some from Ike recently, and next up we're going to have to get some scientific data from Eve, as you can see. It's one of the things that we're going to do, but we also have to return to Kerbin from a flyby of Eve. Now I hope that returning from orbit counts, because returning from flyby is a bit more difficult. It takes a bit more time too. At any rate, let us now fly this probe. I think before we do anything, let's do that. Let me see where I got my science equipment. No, I have some. Don't I? Oh crap, are you telling me that all the science equipment I have is on... Yep. All the science equipment that this probe was carrying is on the lander. So I guess that takes care of that. Okay, well, I guess the science data from around Eve is going to have to wait. Right now, let's just focus on getting ourselves back home. In order to do that, we have to burn from the lit side of the planet, I believe. No, the dark side, forgive me, because we are traveling outwards. So from around this position... Actually, this might work. This might work around here. Let's see. It's at a maneuver. And let's start speeding up. Let's see how that looks. Yep, it's about right. Set Kerbin as our target. Okay. It's not bad. Now we just gotta kinda... No. Okay, what's wrong here? Passing by above each other. Shouldn't I just be able to... Oh, wait. Really? All the way over there? Well, I mean, it's not like we're waiting for anything, I guess. It's going to require course correction. What's our 800, huh? Well... I mean, a course correction could bring us right in. We are trying to land the probe, so... Alright. What are we waiting for? Just humming to myself. It's a way for me to sort of ease my nervousness. Oh man. We probably could have done this with less fuel, honestly. If I'd bothered to check some of the other possibilities. Is that not? There we go. Okay. Periapsis, 73 million meters, but that's fine. We're going to have to course correct that anyway, around here. Right now, let's just get going. Out of the influence of Eve, and we're flying. Also, just for curiosity's sake, I'm going to keep an eye on Duna, because at the very next opportunity we're going to want to do flights there as well. And it looks like we are actually going to bring the probe home before we get close to a Duna, you know, launch window. Which is good. I'm operating on a much stricter schedule now with this whole space program, because, you know, I'm doing a bunch of launches in between to try and earn us money for our explorations, and you know what I didn't do? I didn't correct our course, did I? Well. That's not acceptable. This is why you should never record and play, kids. See how far back the autosave takes us. Mistakes were made, it happens. Alright, where's my Eve probe? There we go. Still circling Eve, so guess we're fine. We're still in orbit of Eve, too. Alright, well, let's do this again. It's fine because it gives me a chance to try and get this orbit from somewhere else. See what happens if I take it from all the way over here. Still keep Kerbin as our target. So one encounter over there. Is that the only one we're going to get? I guess so. Oh, that's fine. It's a bit better. It's going to take us about 30 seconds. So let's stop us at around a minute. A lot less, actually. Let's go ahead and speed up a bit more. Delta V. Well, these flights are actually a lot easier if you're doing them to land them, because you can just kind of set it into the atmosphere and burn nice and slow to the rest. We did not get it. There we go. Now, why don't I do something that I should have done last time and just warp here. There, isn't that much easier? It's going to stop it right there for me too. Apparently there is another encounter over here, but honestly I don't really care. Let's just get it home. It's another really good space game, by the way, FTL. It's a different, much different style of space game. It's one of the non-realistic ones. A bit more of a roguelike RPG more than anything else, but anyway, focus. Kerbin. Alright. Now how do we want to do this? We want to plot a course, as it were. And then we'll see what we can do to fix this. We're coming in on the wrong side, first of all. It's the side we want to come in on. Alright, I can't remember if I put RCS thrusters on this vessel or not. I think I did, but just to be sure. Yeah. Let's do that. I do not have RCS thrusters on here. Yeah. Anyway. We'll just have to use thrusters, I guess. Not a big deal. Okay. Now. Let's try this again. See if I can't get it better. Because we do wanna land it. much. Way too much. No. This is just like a tap of the button. $32. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. F5. Quick save. We still have fuel left to slow us down too when we get there. Well, let's see if this works. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. You know, in all honesty, this is not an easy game for me to jump back into. I talk a lot about how much I love the game and how I consider it to be one of the best examples of what gaming is capable of, and I mean it. I honestly do. I also, however, think that the thought of getting back into this game is just it's a turnoff, honestly. But it takes me getting back into it, sort of forcing myself to sit down and play more Kerbal Space Program before I actually end up engulfed in it again. So it's kind of like those, I don't want to do this kind of things, and then when I'm in it, I'm like, I don't want to stop doing this kind of things. Okay. Can switch to this view now. Flip us to retrograde. And now, another thing that I did not do is that I did not put heat shields on the bottom of this. So basically, all we need is for the probe core to survive. Now I've got a thing here. I got a battery in between it, so that should be the first thing to explode if something explodes. There's not really much to do except hope that this works. We're going to be coming in very fast. So I'm going to use what's left of our fuel. I'm actually just going to retract these right now because we don't need them anymore. Can I retract these, please? Why can I not retract these? Why are you not letting me retract my solar panels? Are these not retractable solar panels? Is that the idea here? Huh. Oh well. Let's get us a little closer. We're coming in very fast. So we should probably do something about that. I'm gonna burn around 100,000 meters, I think. So somewhat before we hit atmosphere. Yeah. See how much we can slow ourselves down by. Definitely not as good as I'd hoped, but hopefully we can survive it. Now, I'm actually considering just leaving all of this on, because it sort of acts as emergency heat shielding. Like, all this stuff will take up most of the heat as we fall through, I hope. That's what kind of makes sense to me. I do actually have the chutes activated before the stack separator. That was not intentional, but since that's how it ended up, might as well just keep it like that. I have a quick save from earlier on, so we'll see if this works. And the first thing that's going to happen is that the solar panels are going to disintegrate. It is a good thing that we're landing over water. I'm happy about that. There go all the solar panels. Engine's going to overheat soon, so that's the next thing that's going to blow up. And so is the stack separator. Oh boy. Well, the engine's going to go first. It really just depends on how well the ship can hold itself in retrograde. But we're actually slowing down well enough. The engine's holding. This is not really what I expected, but I'm happy. Look at that. Things are looking up for once. Okay, the burn is complete. Now we have to wait for our chutes. Alright, so... There we go, that's the drogue chutes. That's the mains. Excellent. Now let's actually see how much the fuel canister weighs us down, because if we can recover this whole thing like this, then that's a bunch of money we get back. I'm going to speed us up. Drogue should be deploying fully soon. Now the mains in about 700 meters. Alright, we are falling now at 8.7 meters per second. You know what? I think that we might be able to just land the craft with this. We are consistently slowing down, or no, not really. We're going to come in at about 8 meters per second. Well, we did lose the fuel tank, and the engine is sinking. We got the rest of this back, so that's good. That's definitely the contract complete at any rate. At least it better, because we technically returned this probe from orbit of Eve, not from a flyby, but I mean, you have to fly by first in order to achieve orbit, right? So I got a big blinking 3 over there. We received 8,000 funds from that, so that's good. And then let's see what we got. We have returned home from flyby and of orbit, so we got both of those. Taking our first steps towards exploring Eve. Let us keep going and see where it takes us. Sweet. We got that. Return trip from Eve. Alright, we did not get the recovered scientific data, and we're probably not going to, because it's going to be a while before we go back to Eve and come back from it. Although transmitting science isn't really that hard once we get an object out there. And this is our second time to Eve. Like, we've had a... We've sent a ship out there once. At least I think we did. We did, didn't we? Yeah, sure we did. We sent a ship out there. Alright, well it's a bit anticlimactic, I guess, but we did it. We completed the contract. And just the last thing I do is I think I can still recover that engine, send like a submarine crew and pick it up. Yep, there we go. Pick it up. Sweet. Contract's done. So let's see what's up next. This is one of those big exploration contracts from the Kerbal Record Society or whatever. The Kerbin World's First Record... World's First Record-Keeping Society. Oh, yeah, I get it. Get it? It's the World's First Record-Keeping Society? Yeah, okay. What's the next thing we're doing? We've explored nearly every nook and cranny of Ike, but there are a few potentially profitable loose ends to investigate. Bring a vessel back to Kerbin from the surface of Ike. Okay, it's been a while since we've been to Ike anyway, and there's still more for us to do down there. So I guess that's what we're going to do next. I think on the planetary rotation, let's accept this anyway. On the planetary rotation, the next thing to happen is a Duna launch window anyway. So let me take a look at that quickly. Yeah, we're not that far. Duna has to be around here, and we're catching up to it. It's got to be around here for us to be able to go there. So yeah, that's pretty much what's up next, I guess. We're flying to Duna. Well, to Ike, anyway. And I'm going to have to figure out how we're going to do this, because there's stuff that we need to take care of on Ike. And since this episode's going to be record short, I think, let's take a look at some of these other contracts and see if there's anything else we can do along the way. Bring a newly discovered Class A asteroid into orbit around Kerbin. Class A asteroids are the small ones, I think. If I was ever to do an asteroid mission, that's probably the one I would do. We do have a desire to build a new surfaced outpost on Ike. 15 Kerbals. Viewing cupola, 3 engineers. Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Orbital station, run Minmus, no thanks. Tourists. Minmus, Kerbin, Duna Kerbin, yeah. I hate these tourist missions because they all want to go to ridiculous places. But we've got like an orbital recovery mission. Here's an interesting one. Go out to Kerbin, pick up a Kerbal and her spacecraft, land on Ike. I've said Kerbin there, didn't I? But I meant Ike. Go out to orbit of Ike, pick up the person who's out there, pick up the craft too, and then land on Ike and return home from having landed on Ike. Okay. Okay, this sounds like fun. Yeah. Yeah, this sounds like a lot of fun. This is what we're going to do next time. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon.